From historic Keyworth Stadium, we open the curtain on the 2017 NPSL season as Detroit City FC plays host to the Milwaukee Torrent. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Alongside my broadcast partner, John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule, bringing you back for a 2017 NPSL campaign. And John, you look at this city roster here this year, there's no doubt about it. They have added talent, arguably could be the most talented roster in the history of the club.
I think you're absolutely right, Neil, and this city club under Ben Pearman starting to come together, had a great preseason of training. You see some of the core that you know is City faithful from last year. Cyrus Saydee back for another year in midfield. Zach Shiwi, Seb Harris, but you add some pretty key pieces. Bakey Goodman in midfield, he'll start tonight. He's an MLS draftee that was the last man cut off of the defending champions roster, the Seattle Sounders. The cut happened late. He ends up here playing for LaRouge. You also have a man like Bach along the back line at center back. Two big key faces you'll see tonight. It's a deep roster.
Let's take a look at the table presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. This Milwaukee Torrent squad already with a game under their belt. They dropped a 3-1 decision against AFC Ann Arbor. So John, right away, Milwaukee, welcome to the NPSL. Now you're on the clock. You've already dropped a home match against AFC Ann Arbor. You need to get on the board here, at least get some kind of result being here on the road.
You know what, I talked to Coach Davi about that. He wasn't happy to drop that at home to begin the season. He wasn't happy with the way Ann Arbor played either, but he knows the step up in leagues is a step up in class. It is a group that's played together for a long time. They got off on the wrong foot. They're hungry coming in here to Keyworth tonight.
Now, John, you mentioned the fact that DCFC coming off the preseason, most recently that 2-2 draw at home against the Dayton Dynamo on May 6th in front of over 4,100 supporters. This team here tonight, they're going to look to do what they did in that match. That's get off to a quick start, assume an early lead.
Yeah, they got help from an own goal off of a set piece to take the early lead. And then, of course, Cyrus Saydee stepping up and scoring City's second goal. But the thing we liked about the first 45 or 55 minutes for that City team was the fact that they were able to come out and be very technically sound at the back and in midfield. They need to do that again tonight.
Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers pre-match report. We made mention of it, Milwaukee's first season here in the NPSL, so obviously this will be the first time these two teams squared off. So we don't know what quite to expect. However, with this Milwaukee team, we know they are an older squad and they have a bit of experience.
You know, I was talking with Ben Pearman before the match, kind of looked at me and laughed, and he said, this team's average age is 26. We're starting freshmen in college. That's a big difference.
Absolutely. So we are looking forward to getting things rolling here at historic Keyworth Stadium. It'll be Detroit City FC and the Milwaukee Torrent, and we will get things going coming up next. Live stream coverage of the Detroit City Football Club is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Welcome back inside Keyworth Stadium, just moments away from the opening kick, the 2017 NPSL campaign. Detroit City FC and Milwaukee. Neil Rule back alongside John Krieger here. There's certainly a palpable buzz in the air. The fans are excited, as you see. The Northern Guard ready to go, and we are ready to go too. Let's take a look at the Detroit City FC starting lineup. The lineups, as always, brought to you by the Henry Ford Health System. And John, as you peruse the starting 11 for Detroit City FC here today, what are some of the things that stand out to you? I think I have an idea of where you're going to go. A certain number 13, Bakey Goodman, out there in the midfield's a good place to start.
It is a very good place to start, Neil, and it's also a good thing to note that he'll team up with Cyrus Saydee in midfield. And you look at Detroit City FC, that starting lineup, Steinwash is in goal. Across the back, it's Carroll, Bach, Watson, and Shiwi. One of them will poach up into midfield, though. Ben Pearman expect him to run more of a 4-3-3. Your midfield four, actually your midfield three, Adkins is there. Your forward attacking tandem for Detroit City FC, Max Todd and Roderick Green, going to be key tonight. If they can get service up front, could be a very good night for the City faithful.
And now you're looking at the walkout with LaRouge. That's presented by Metro PCS. This week the players are joined by the U10 Nationals team. Let's go to the introductions and the national anthem live.
Outside Detroit City FC for tonight's walkout with LaRouge, presented by Metro PCS, are the U10 Nationals. Thanks to Metro PCS, the official wireless provider of DCFC. And now for tonight's starting lineups, presented by Henry Ford Health System. For Milwaukee, number 0, Daniel Cisneros. Number 1, Josh Rode. Number 4, Drew Riggles. Number 6, Isaac Pereira. Number 8, Tony Patterson. Number 9, Stuart Gravel. Number 10, Declan Rodriguez. Number 11, Ignacia Baeza. Number 14, Nemanja Medic. Number 22, Andrew Wiedebach. Number 77, Archie Sua. Head coach of the Torrent is Andreas Davi. He's joined by assistant coach Mark Litton. Your officials for tonight's match are Nick Balser, Carter Brochu, Michael Caziera, and Maximilian Pilecki. And now, for your hometown, Detroit City FC starting 11. Number 23, Zach Shiwi. Number 20, Max Todd. Number 19, Roddy Green. Number 14, Zach Bach. Number 13, Bakey Goodman. Number 11, Troy Watson. Number 10, Cyrus Saydee. Number 8, Jeff Adkins. Number 5, Stephen Carroll. Number 1, Nate Steinwasser. And your captain, number 18, David Edwardson. Head coach of Detroit City FC is Ben Pierman. Technical advisor is Klaus DeBoer. Assistant coaches are Jordan Andrews, Josh Rogers, and Brett Mullen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem, led by the Detroit City FC supporters section.
The unveiling of the TIFO here. You think these guys are ready to go? Let's take a look at the Wheelhouse weather report. 65 degrees and clear skies. Perfect for really any outdoor activity, certainly any outdoor activity with 6,000 plus of your closest friends. The Northern Guard already in mid-season form. As you see, we are just moments away from the opening kick, the 2017 NPSL season. We are ready to roll.
You know what, before we get going here tonight, Neil, congratulations and full credit to Gene and Ken and Sarge at the Northern Guard. I know they worked really hard on that TIFO during the offseason, and the plans for that. It's a full section tonight. I'll say it before, and you've said it on social media. Pound for pound, the best supporters in American sport. I would say the Northern Guard. They show it there. None of us can get enough of City football, and we'll see that this evening. Hopefully the City faithful are treated to 3 points. That's really my key to tonight's game. Just win, baby. A lot of draws last year in the NPSL season at home for Detroit City. And the gold standard of how to win in soccer is to get full points at home, go for the draws or more on the road. And City weren't able to do that, and it put them behind the 8 ball early. If they can come out against a team that is stronger than they are, a little older than they are in terms of just body type, and get 3 points, head to the Michigan Stars on Sunday with those 3 points in the bank, it's a good first weekend for Ben Pierman.
The opening kickoff is brought to you by Chemical Bank. As we are just about ready to roll, Milwaukee will open with the possession. The whistle sounds, and the NPSL regular season is underway here at Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy you could join us wherever you may be watching around the world. Go ahead and send us some tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. Let us know where you're watching. The first 15 minutes are brought to you by the Henry Ford Health System, the official sports medicine provider of DCFC.
You know, it's going to be a battle of offensive systems here tonight. Milwaukee's going to run a 4-4-2. They're going to try to send the left back and right back forward, bomb forward, and press high. City's going to be in that 4-3-3. They're going to want to send service quickly upfield. They're going to count on Bakey Goodman and on Cyrus Saydee to control things in midfield and get things forward to their forward trio. Going to be interesting to see who controls the midfield early in this match. I think it'll be a good first indication of which system is working.
As you see, the Northern Guard has gone with the black smoke to get things rolling. And it is permeating the field here at Keyworth Stadium, really obscuring the perfectly sunny conditions that we have. We talked about the kickoff weather. It certainly is a beautiful day to ride up to Keyworth, and if you do, and for all those that did, DCFC has you covered with a free bike valet provided by Wheelhouse Detroit, with locations in Hamtramck and downtown Detroit.
Cisneros the free kick, and he scuffed that one. Watch for City on the counter here if they can get it going.
So the whistle and the foul goes against Milwaukee, and as you said, Daniel Cisneros. Cisneros played in the Mexican Professional League for Zacatecas down there in Mexico. So LaRouge will get things going. Troy Watson sends it across the field, and Detroit City looks to go on the attack.
Already City's back line very high tonight, trying to press forward. And a nice job by Bach to get back, the center back, as Milwaukee tried to counter quickly.
Zach Shiwi will send it up. Shiwi played in 8 matches last year. Here comes an opportunity on the left side, settling it down into the box.
Oh,
and the fans want a call as Roddy Green was taken down by the goalkeeper, Josh Rohde.
The only way you don't see a referee pointing to a penalty spot in that situation is if he has decided that the keeper got their head position and got a piece of the ball. I'm not quite sure. That's a interesting early decision, and Ben Pierman calmed down on the touchline, so perhaps he might agree.
So Rohde will put the ball back in play. Rohde played his college soccer at UW Whitewater. Led the conference in save percentage and shutouts. David Edwardson, the captain, takes that one away and slides it up the sideline to Cyrus Saydee. Touched out of bounds, and Saydee will restart it.
You know, in the opening 3 minutes here, Neil, we saw what we saw last week from City. Very physical midfield play, the ability to win the ball and get upfield quickly. Dave Edwardson there, a nice job to muscle his man off the ball, converted into possession.
Torrent looking to clear. Now it's played up through midfield. Torrent in those blue unis with the light blue trim. Of course, LaRouge decked out in their usual home garb. Troy Watson plays that one off of the defender, Isaac Pereira. Pereira plays it out. Troy Watson will throw it in. Watson 2 assists last year, been a very steady presence for Detroit City FC. And John, we see here in the early going, Roddy Green certainly a target, the goal-scoring machine for Saginaw Valley State.
Yeah, they're going to want to get the ball up to him, and he's someone who looks to create space. The thing I like from him early here, he's moving without the ball. Sometimes you have a striker, he'll get in the box, he'll wait for the service to come for him. Not this guy. He's going to move around, create openings, give the opportunity for service.
I believe a throw-in coming in that far corner. As Troy Watson makes his way over, he will toss it in. 4.5 minutes in, there's no score. The Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy you're watching us wherever you're watching. Send us those tweets, let us know where you're watching at. Watson tosses it in towards the box.
Nice long throw.
Ignacio Beza trying to get the clear.
That's
the ball knocked down in the corner. Max Todd has it.
You don't want to go and try to play that ball out with that congested an area with your feet. Hoof it clear your lines, live to fight another day. He gifted City back possession there, and a nice job by Max Todd to step in there and intercept that ball, create a situation.
So Cyrus Saydee will size things up for the corner. Saydee puts the boot to it, plays it short. That ball chipped up into the crowd here at Keyworth Stadium.
That's what you're supposed to do. That ball in the area,
turn and burn.
Hoof it out of there, clear your lines, move it upfield. That's how you clear things defensively.
So Watson throws it in. And one more time, looking for Green, Roddy Green. As we talked about, certainly a factor. Another corner coming up. So Detroit City with some good early dangerous possession.
Look at Todd in the middle there as he goes toward the back post. Milwaukee playing a very low line near the keeper. It allows City to creep in. Service coming to that back post.
Saydee curls that one towards the back post. Instead, it's played out by the Torrent. We'll see if they can get a counter together. Pereira with it. Play through the middle of the field. That ball is taken away by Stephen Carroll. Battle for possession at midfield, controlled by Drew Ruggles. Ruggles had the goal, the lone goal for Milwaukee in their loss to AFC Ann Arbor.
We talked with Andreas Davi, the Milwaukee Torrent head coach, manager. He wasn't happy at all with the way Ann Arbor played. He called it Route 1 football, all the way down the former Bayer Leverkusen man, part owner of this Torrent club. He said we could have played for 180 minutes. We might not have scored more than one, the way they were playing behind the ball. And so he wasn't happy with his players' inability to find joy. And we're seeing a lot of that same thing tonight. They've been muscled off the ball so far by City, despite the age advantage and the fact that Milwaukee trains and plays together for a lot of the year.
Nate Steinwasher in goal tonight for Detroit City FC, and that foul will be called against Ignacio Beza. And a restart here for Detroit City FC. Dave Edwardson stands over, now he'll retreat. And Max Todd will size things up.
Torrent playing a very high line, and City just going to take a little short free kick, try to set something up here.
There's Todd in the middle, Saydee with the touch. A little too much mustard on the hot dog as it goes over the head of Bakey Goodman, the midfielder out of Georgetown, was a member of the Big East All-Rookie team back in 2013. Also played for the U.S. U15 national team. Tons of talent for Goodman, no question about it.
Again, Cisneros intent on trying to play out from the back with his feet. He believes he can beat the City player. He's lost that battle twice as City keeps possession down in the Torrent end.
So Watson to throw it in one more time. Detroit City has had the best of it here, 8 minutes and change into this one. Goodman the target. Goodman 1-on-2 in the corner, but holding a nice account of himself as that ball's played out to the middle. Saydee with the header. And Watson will reap the benefits and pick up the loose ball. Miscommunication for LaRouge.
You know, Milwaukee trying to stick with that 4-4-2, but their midfield four have been silent so far tonight. City able to control possession, and now finally, and we're 9 minutes in, Milwaukee with the first sustained pressure in the City half, and they commit a foul and give away the free kick. City by far the more technically sound team in the opening 9 minutes, the more physical team, and this Milwaukee Torrent club playing in front of the Keyworth faithful look a little bit out of their element in the opening 10th of the match.
So the Rouge with the throw-in, and they will look to put the attack back together. That ball played through the middle. Dangerous opportunity again for Detroit City. The back line of the Torrent hold this time. Edwardson, the captain, knocks it down at midfield.
Tony Patterson from Milwaukee, lucky to get in there, make the challenge, and get the ball away. Otherwise, if the City through on goal, they are not afraid to move forward. And a Torrent foul on the far side. Nice job by our official tonight to notice that little shirt pull and the arm in the back. Sometimes at this level of soccer, the referees will let that go. They want the physical play. Here, he's going to step in and say, no, you've stepped over the line. Give City the chance to set something up now about 35 yards from goal.
Looks like the D will be the target here at the top of the box. Let's see. Ball served up towards the back post. Headed out and knocked down by Goodman. Goodman's touch leaves a little to be desired. Now Milwaukee looking to put the counter together one more time.
Yeah, Beckey's got to know there. He's got to have a stronger touch. He was trying to get too cute and thread the needle. Just get it through there and let your attacker run onto the ball instead of trying to put it on a dime in a crowded area.
Zach Shiwi with the control. Long ball played ahead. Max Todd the target. Todd. Ball played through the middle. Stuart Grable gets the possession and takes it away. So Torrent with the control will swing it out to the left side. Medic.
And Milwaukee's touch through midfield leaves a lot to be desired so far tonight. Here Andreas Davi, he said he wanted his right and left back to come forward, and he wanted his right and left back to be able to come in and influence play. They haven't. They've been pinned back. The touches in midfield have been easily intercepted, and it doesn't look as though Milwaukee knows what they're doing.
Not a sharp effort there from Drew Ruggles. And Watson will put the boot to it. Sends it all the way down the pitch. Grable send it back to this keeper. Ronnie Green with some pressure. Forces Rhodey to pick it up. And he will escort it to the top of the box. 12 minutes in the books here at Keyworth. Still no score. Detroit City with some sustained pressure early on. Rhodey out to play it one more time. First year of competition here in the NPSL for the Milwaukee Torrent. That ball played up and out by Stephen Carroll. Very solid defensive play by Carroll.
So I think it's time now, Neil, for our Better Made fun fact here as we head 13 minutes in.
Absolutely. Bakey Goodman, new to Detroit City FC this year, was selected by the Seattle Sounders in the 2017 MLS Super Draft. He was selected 56th overall after graduating from Georgetown. Yeah, guys, I don't hear you at all. The crowd mic's really loud in my... Here comes another opportunity for Detroit City FC off the corner. Jeff Adkins moves over. Adkins, 3 goals for Detroit City FC last year. He will be the point man this time on the corner. Goodman plays it over, looking for Green. That ball's cleared out. So again, we see Ronnie Green making an impact in this game. He's somebody, his name I've called it all night long so far here, John, almost 14 minutes into this game. He is announcing his presence with authority.
Yeah, he's someone who put the ball in the back of the net for Saginaw Valley. He is relishing the opportunity to be a part of LaRouge. And here a nice ball into the area, back post header. And a nice chance for City. They're taking advantage of the fact that there are two ways really to defend those kind of corners. First of all, you can either set the line higher and force City to guard against offside. Second of all, you can put men on either post, but that allows your attackers to poach in. City doing a nice job of trying to find the open man on those set pieces. And were it not for just a header off the wrong side of the head, it would have been a hard case for the goalie to answer.
So Max Todd with probably the best chance of the evening so far. Sends that header just wide. The Torrent just trying to get their feet under him here, almost 15 minutes in.
Oh, look at Cyrus run in there, force the pass, and then the turnover as Todd muscles his man off the ball.
And here comes Green with a dangerous opportunity. Green across. Rhodey will punch it away at the last opportunity to keep this game scoreless. Detroit City FC circling around the Milwaukee goal.
Oh, the touch was a little heavy going across goal, but a nice job to be unselfish and leave it across.
So Rhodey knocks it down. I'm ready if you guys want to go over to the...
City playing so unselfish right now. It's not a lot of individual efforts. It's a lot of team right now. And I think what you're seeing here is City get a turnover and a ball through. Saydee on goal.
And just averts disaster.
Rhodey's had to come out and challenge a couple of balls early. And were it not for a couple of heavy touches, it could be 2-0 City. As he hoofs it clear. This team atmosphere, this team attitude we're seeing from City, I think, is the result, Neil, of a little more time for Ben Pearman to train his team at the beginning of the season. If you go back to last year, he had, what, 4 matches in the span of 8 days, 2 league matches.
Right.
As we see the save in here. Nice job. Unselfish, laying it across. Adkins is there, and if it isn't for one touch by Rhodey, who realized at the last moment he was going to have to come out and challenge, it would have been an easy 1-0 tap-in. Into the second 15 minutes of our match. Still scoreless, and City looking by far the better of the two sides. Cyrus Saydee with a nice chip to send things forward, and then muscles a man off the ball and keeps possession.
So Saydee again with some strong effort through the middle of the field. Really the straw that stirs the drink for this Detroit City FC team. Enjoyed a tremendous collegiate career at Michigan State. He's a former Big Ten Player of the Week. As we take a look at the replay, of course, this 15 minutes is presented by Fago, the official pop of Detroit City FC. You guys know where I stand. Team Rock and Rye all the way. Here comes an opportunity up the left side. The shot is deflected out. Another corner coming, but one more time, it's that guy, Roddy Green, just creating all kinds of havoc for Detroit City.
He's got an extra step in here. You look at Green, takes that one touch, and then tries to chip over. And if it isn't for that last second challenge to come over and play the ball away, that's number 11, Beza, who comes over to try to deflect it out and clears the lines. But Roddy Green's got a second gear here tonight that he's showing off early.
That corner headed out towards the middle. Zach Sheewey will settle things down. Swings out to the left side looking for Edwardson. They wanted the handball. No dice, says the official. Here comes Milwaukee looking to counter. Medic on the right side.
Nice job by the City back line to close that down. City's back line very well composed. Sometimes when your side has dominated the lion's share of possession, as City has for the opening 19 minutes, the back line can get complacent, it can get a little loose, it can allow for teams to counter. And when Sheewee played a back pass that took a funny hop off of the artificial surface here at Keyworth, the City back line closed down very quickly and stayed even to set the offside line and allow defenders to close down and get the ball back.
So now the Torrent trying to settle down some possession. They have had very little of it so far here, almost 20 minutes into this contest. Here comes Beza. Beza making the run, but taking it away is Troy Watson.
So physical, just muscled Beza right off the ball. I don't think Milwaukee was expecting this physical a performance from City tonight. But every man so far, from the back line up through midfield, and even Roddy Green getting away from a man and creating space in the box, has been quicker, more physical, more technically sound, and doing it without playing recklessly and committing fouls.
Then it's turning with it, but instead Detroit City FC will clear the defensive zone. As we got some of the tweets flying in with the hashtag Watch City. We'll get to those in just a couple moments. That ball played out to the left side. And now it's time for the Grand Circuits player profile. Tonight we take a look at Nate Steinwasser, the University of Detroit Mercy alum. Started all 3 preseason matches this season so far. Played a standout game in Louisville last year in the 2016 Open Cup second round. Had 2 PK saves in that game. Look for a big game from Steinwasser here tonight. And John, it's safe to say you can look for a big game whenever Nate Steinwasser steps into the box.
Yeah, you know what, he commands his area very well. We saw it last week against Dayton. When they were able to get past the City back line, he came out and claimed his area, wasn't afraid to come out for a ball. He's a good man to anchor the back line between the sticks.
Here's Roddy Green with a left-footed shot that's blocked out. We will get another Detroit City FC corner. Roddy Green again taking over in this game. And Jeff Adkins will move out to the corner. So again, LaRouge trying to break through here. We're in the 22nd minute, no score. Adkins gives the signal and serves it. That ball headed out by Declan Rodriguez. And the foul will go against Detroit City. Have a tweet here from @NGS269, checking in from Stevensville, Michigan. Great to hear you guys again. And also we got one as well from Key Largo, from @GusMacker1. Says, I got the boat already. Johnny's watching the game on a boat in Key Largo. He's got life figured out. There's no doubt about it.
Living right. Have one for me.
Rhodey sends that ball over the midfield stripe. Torrent looking to put together some possession. It's headed back to the keeper by Carroll.
You know, that center back pairing of Carroll and Bach, you saw that ball come in, and Carroll wasn't rattled at all. Just tracked it down, didn't have a man charging at him, so had a little space. But when you have that kind of calm play along your back line and 2 center backs that know what they're doing, it makes it a lot easier to turn things forward.
And some extracurriculars here as Roddy Green took Cisneros down. Cisneros took exception. And now we got some people not getting along out there.
Now, boys.
Roddy Green was going after the pass. I believe a card will be issued as we saw Stuart Grable taken down, and that was a foul. There's no doubt about it. Here's the problem. Grable went in with the 2-hand shove against Roddy Green, and he's hit with the yellow card, so an early booking for Grable, and probably justifiably so. Bottom line, John, you can't go with 2 hands into the back of someone when they're trying to get up.
No, not at all. First of all, that's going to be an early, easy booking for the official. It breaks the ice and set the standards of what he will allow and what he won't, and that's a frustration foul, really. Green got in, he was going to beat you. The way the ball was bouncing, Green could have turned very easily and would have been in on goal. That's what we call a professional foul, just outside the box there. And you've got a situation where, he's trying to get into Roddy Green's head and let him know he's there. And the referee caught it and said, you can't do it after the whistle, let's go.
Certainly, there's no doubt about it. The play of Roddy Green frustrating Grable and the entire back line of the Milwaukee Torrent. 24 minutes into this match. Here comes Cyrus Saydee up the left side. The cross. Looking for Green again.
You see how Cyrus Saydee isn't afraid to get forward on the wings. First of all, he can control in midfield and is physical enough now as he grows as a player to be able to win balls in midfield. But once he gets forward, he's got his head up and on a swivel. And Roddy Green isn't afraid to continue his run. You have a player that isn't afraid to get up and give quick, fast service, and Green doesn't stop until the whistle. And those kind of service, those kind of balls across the box are going to happen all night as long as those two have joy.
Sheewee will drop it back to Steinwasser. Lots of pressure here from Milwaukee. Steinwasser puts a boot up the left side, and it's headed out. A throw-in coming for Milwaukee. More tweets coming in from the Detroit Free Press's George Simple. Says that Moon Mist is greater than Rock and Ride. George, I will respectfully disagree.
George is wrong.
George, you know,
Team
George,
Rock and Ride all day.
Yeah, that's. You have a pure Rock and Ride booth. There's no doubt about it. Here comes an opportunity for Milwaukee. Long ball played in the left side, chipped up towards the back post, and nobody home on the other end. But John, for the first time tonight, we see signs of life from the Milwaukee Torrent here in the 26th minute.
Yeah, that's Andrew Weidebach, the forward, coming across. He wants to chip it across the area. The difference there between City's run a minute ago and that run, his attacker was timid and late getting to the other post, where Roddy Green didn't stop and was going to beat the offside trap and beat his man. Weidebach chips it across, and his man had stopped. If he keeps going, that's tough for Steinwasser to make the save. But where City is playing on the front foot and isn't afraid to stop and trust their wingmen to get the service in, the Torrent are still finding their legs and figuring out how they can beat the City defense.
Rodriguez earns a throw-in. So Milwaukee looking to flip the script. Here in the middle portion of the first half, that long ball sent into the box. Nobody home on the other end. A goal kick coming for Detroit City FC by Nate Steinwasser. Steinwasser from the University of Detroit Mercy, #1 all-time in shutouts there, second all-time in goals against and wins. Played in 4 matches last year for this Detroit City team.
Tweets from #WatchCity, DCFC, DC, watching in the nation's capital. They are watching all the way from the seat of government tonight and sending hellos our way. And for my money, the Northern Guard beat the Screaming Eagles in Barra Brava every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
So the Torrent now with an opportunity that goes by the boards. A throw-in coming for Detroit City.
You know, we talked about at the start of this game, Neil, seeing which system was going to win. Pierman's 4-3-3 or the 4-4-2 of the Torrent. Right now, the 4-4-2 doesn't look like a 4-4-2. It's a 4-2-2 because the wing midfielders for the Milwaukee Torrent that are supposed to be getting forward and creating options are being muscled off the ball, and they're nowhere near where they need to be. The 3 midfielders of City are dominating play and getting it forward to Roddy Green and company.
So that ball played in, right-footed shot, fanned on, but now the cross goes ahead, the right-footed shot over top of the bar. I believe that was Weidebach with that opportunity.
Weidebach, that's what we call in soccer missing a sitter, wide open goal. And a lot of time to shoot. Nice job to leave it off, little chip there, all sorts of space. Lots of room to the left and right of Steinwasser, and he heard the footsteps of the City back line coming and fluffed it over the bar.
Archie Sua sent that one over top of the bar off the Weidebach pass. He will think about that one all the way back to Milwaukee. A prime goal-scoring opportunity goes by the boards. Here comes Detroit City now, looking to turn the tables. Long pass to the right side, settled down nicely by Green.
And he earns his team a throw and keeps the pressure on. Nobody there to help, nobody coming forward. Green didn't want to take it himself. He has his defender there, just lazily, just pushes it off of his leg and out of play. That's a smart heads-up play to hit the reset button in the forward area.
Watson unable to settle the header down. As Max Todd went right back to him, Troy Watson couldn't get it gathered, and instead we'll see it go on a play. So a chance goes by the boards for Detroit City. But here's Green again, creating some havoc. Goodman trying to defend, and that foul will go against LaRouge. No doubt about it on that one by Max Todd.
Yeah, sometimes you got a head of steam and you're gonna run into a guy, and that's what happened there. It's really the first time on a foul we've seen City get a little loose with their positioning and with their play and to concede the free kick, but they do it in an area that doesn't really hurt them.
The ball headed about at midfield. Shiwi over in the mix, will play it high in the sky. Suwa ran over. Still has to be smarting after missing that golden opportunity. Nothing but twine in front of him, and he sent it over the crossbar.
On this free kick, City keeping that line high.
The next 15 minutes brought to you by Phoenix House, the official building partner of Detroit City FC. No score here in the 31st minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along. The season opener of NPSL play. Detroit City FC and the Milwaukee Torrent. The Torrent have come to life over the course of the last 5+ minutes. We've seen their first real sustained attacking time. And now, John, they have LaRouge on their heels just a bit.
Yeah, part of that is because if you look out there, you see Cyrus Saydee being man-marked for the moment by Drew Ruggles. And that's what you can do when City have 3 midfielders and you have 4. They realize that as Saydee goes in midfield, it spurs things forward. They're man-marking him right now. It's made a difference.
Here comes Green on the move, and Green taken down. The official says play on, much to the chagrin of the Northern Guard and everyone involved.
And that's a good decision. He went down a little easy there. Could have played through it. Official in a good position says get up.
And there's Edwardson. He wants a call. Official says play on again. Here comes Milwaukee looking for the counter. Pereira with it. Plays it to the middle. Goodman will take it away.
That's a foul, yes it is.
Very handsy there from Wiedebach.
And the reason he had to be handsy is that Bacon Goodman absolutely beat him. He was gonna blow past him, turned his body, and invited the defender onto his back to make that foul. That's a heads-up play. That's why he was an MLS draft pick. That's why he was one of the last men cut from the defending MLS champions. And he showed it here as he tries to further his career by playing for LaRouge and getting noticed.
Have a tweet here from Daniel Casey. It says, you know it's summer when DCFC gets underway. Getting a stream in far western Kentucky is fabulous with a hashtag Watch City. Johnny Arena 316 says, watching from Ferndale, glad soccer is back. And a throw-in coming for Troy Watson. Watson tosses it into Edwardson. With that captain's armband on his left hand, Watson serves it into the box, and Green heads it over top of the bar. But again, that guy, Ronnie Green, has been a force here in the first half as we take another look at it.
Well, first of all, the service was precise. Well done, Mr. Watson, to put it on a dime. Then, Ronnie Green, 1v2 against 2 center backs, gets up in the air, beats both men, and gets his head on the ball. When you have a forward, when you have a center forward that can occupy both center backs and still beat them, that's a talented young player at this level. He's a really exciting player to watch in his regular season home debut.
So Ruggles plays it up to Suwa. Suwa towards the middle. Medic. That ball will be sent in wide. So back and forth we go. And John, over the course of the last 3 or 4 minutes, this has been some really exciting soccer, up and down action. Both teams on the offensive.
Yeah, both teams on the offensive, but it's a different kind of offensive. City is a defined, regimented offensive, okay? You take a look at the Milwaukee Torrent. They've missed 1 sitter But you look at Medic and that speculative attempt from well outside the area. That's frustration. That's trying to create something where the better play would have been to hold it up and wait for help. But they haven't had joy for most of the 34 minutes we've played. And so you're trying to press and push. And what happens when you press and push is you leave yourself vulnerable on the back end. And when City get possession back, it's why we see that they're able to move forward quickly.
Here's Ruggles through the midfield, gives it off to Declan Rodriguez. Ruggles swings it out wide to the left side. Here comes Beza. Beza has it challenged and taken away by Watson. Watson's been very strong here in the first 35 minutes. There's a look at Ben Pierman in his 5th season here. The assistant coach at Michigan State, was a 3-year starter during his playing days at MSU, won 2 Big Ten championships, went to 3 NCAA tournaments.
That's a high boot from Sua. It caught somebody, and he deserves to go in the book. And on another night, that could have been red. That boot was high, it was reckless. And Ben Pierman's telling the 4th official, you heard it, thanks to the guys in the truck for the effects mics down there, that should have been a red. On another night, it well could have been. A very high boot, studs showing, and the City player contacted and goes down. That's a lucky lad to be hit with look at the high boot. Up into the face of the City player. Another referee on another night. And it's 10 men for the Milwaukee Torrent. Consider yourself very lucky. That card you got isn't just yellow, it's orange.
Bakey Goodman on the receiving end of those high studs. Now on the left side, Detroit City FC trying to settle things down. Josh Rogers was getting in the mix verbally with Andreas Davi as well, the head coach of Milwaukee. Josh Rogers with that spectacular beard. Here's a ball played up, Brody off the line, and another foul will be called. So a dangerous opportunity here for Detroit City FC. They are in the center of the field from about 30 yards out.
Let's see how our referee takes charge of this. He's going to walk off the 10 meters. And Milwaukee, as is soccer tradition, will try to creep that to 9 or 8. But they're going to have to set this up. And then I'm going to want to see where the Torrent set their line, how high they set things, and what City sets up to do. So they'll walk back the yardage. We're looking about 30 yards from goal, dead on. He'll walk it back to the top of the D, and of course the Torrent are going to try to cheat forward. But look at the back line for Milwaukee. They're into the area. They're further down, and now they bring it up a little bit. They're going to force City to put over the top.
That shot played right into the middle of the wall by Jeff Adkins, so City will still control. A long ball, nobody home on the other end for LaRouge. Goodman settles things down, off to Adkins. Watson. Todd loses control. Sua up the left side. Sua's service into the box. Watson will spin out with it. Here's Adkins again with the control. Here he comes again. It's that guy, Roddy Green. Green turning into the box. The chip ahead on the right side. Todd settles it down with a shot. It's just wide of the right post. So Max Todd takes a turn, and another dangerous chance for Detroit City.
Yeah, Max Todd takes a turn, but it's a turn he shouldn't have taken. For the first time tonight, I have to be a little critical of City because that's Todd turning and going for glory. You take a look at the replay here, there are other men in the box. Todd gets control of the ball, but the angle he has isn't one where you see a lot of scoring. And he does so with 2 defenders. He's got men coming across there in the area. Leave that out. Send it to a better shooting position and let one of your teammates get on the end of that ball. That's a young man just having a lash-it goal that spurns a chance.
Edwardson on the far sideline. The ball's played out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in for Detroit City. Some more of the hashtag Watch City tweets. Here comes Cyrus Saydee. It's a 2-on-1. Saydee crosses over, right for the shot. It's in the back of the net. A goal for Detroit City.
Cyrus Saydee said, "I'm not going to be denied." Comes in against two men with the opportunity to pass it off, took it himself, a veteran play, planted his foot, made the defender miss, opened up a shooting lane that was tough for the goalkeeper to get down to, and he puts home another goal. He's had 4 in 4 games now for City, 3 during the preseason, and now 1 in the opener. Look at Saydee come forward. He's closed down, but he plants his foot, reverses his field, and gets the shooting lane. Absolutely schooled his defender. He comes in. He's on the ball. Defender has him closed. He turned it and went opposite foot, didn't go back to his favorite foot, and just guided it inside the post. Heads up play to create that shooting lane and score. Well done, Cyrus.
Cyrus Saydee scored 4 goals last year for Detroit City. Gets on the board early here this season. We're in the 41st minute. Detroit City with a 1-0 lead. Saydee again. Well, it's Goodman.
Cyrus Saydee was man of the match in City's last 2 preseason friendlies. He's on a hat trick and the early favorite in my book.
So we will see how Milwaukee responds. Saydee with that touch looking for Goodman. And instead, it's cleared out by Beza. Wiedebach sends it wide. Sua this time up on the right side. Sua knocks that clearance out. And we get a whistle and a stoppage. As we get another angle of the Cyrus Saydee goal. More magic from the right boot of Cyrus Saydee.
Closed off, doesn't go back and get on his favorite foot, turns his man, open net, tough for the keeper to find it. I'm so impressed with the way Cyrus Saydee has grown this year. He was already a City stalwart, but I came down and watched him last week against the Dayton Dynamo, and I saw him take on 1, 2 players, keep his body in a good position, not give away the ball, not commit the reckless foul. This is a veteran in Pierman's system, a veteran in the dressing room, someone on a semi-professional level that drives in from Lansing to train with his team. He's kind of like, you take a look at the Red Wings in the glory days when nobody would goof around in the dressing room because they didn't want to upset Stevie Yzerman. I have a feeling that City doesn't want to goof around because they don't want to disrespect Cyrus Saydee. And you see that in Saydee's play, in that he is able to step up and be a leader anywhere on the pitch.
Ruggles pass up the left side. The Torrent up against it now, down 1-0 here in the 43rd minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along for the ride as we open the curtain on the NPSL season. Detroit City FC looking to get off on the good foot. In a prime position to do so thus far. Goodman has it taken away by Pereira. Up the left side, Medic with it, turns, his shot is blocked.
Medic is selfish. He's taken a couple lashes at the ball in positions where he needed to step up and find a teammate. And it's cost them because he's given away 2 possessions and 2 really decent chances to start the Milwaukee attack rather.
Ruggles a target. That ball's played out of harm's way. Throwing coming for Milwaukee. Beza will toss it in right in front of Ben Pierman.
2 things there, even on a little throw-in. First of all, the guy doing the throw-in needs to take a look at where defenders are. City easily closes them down. And by the way,
sent out by Bach.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bach along the center line, or in the center back position, just easily clearing his lines with a nice little heads-up play. The other thing there is City unafraid to attack that throw-in quickly, forcing the player to try to control the ball on the artificial surface. That's knowing your home ground and playing with it.
Sua sends that cross in. Nobody on the other side for Milwaukee, and a foul called from behind. Walking away with the smile on his face is Beza. Anytime the guy puts their arms out, they're always guilty, right?
Yeah, you know, it wasn't me, yeah, it was you. there's the unwritten rules of soccer/football, which is that methinks the lady doth protest too much applies to footballers as well.
That ball headed away again by Zach Bach. The captain, Dave Edwardson, wears that one. And he's staggered in the 45th minute. And the official calling for the training staff. Make sure you stick around at the end of the first half. Our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, will be joined by head coach Ben Pearman, get his thoughts on the first 45 minutes of play.
Those thoughts are going to be good thoughts.
Absolutely. More tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. Josh Midori says, I got my kid on, beer poured in a Rouge and Gold pint. And the Detroit City FC game on. Checking in from Youngstown, Ohio, liking what I'm seeing so far. And Josh, I think a lot of Detroit City FC fans echo your sentiment.
And Dave Edwardson, no worse for wear.
Also on Twitter, Drink Up Champ says, I'm checking in from St. Louis. I see you, Cyrus Saydee. And there was an opportunity for Milwaukee.
That's Weidebach getting up over top of his man, but also putting it over top of the bar. Milwaukee are pressing right now. This is a team that's a little frustrated. They, you know, we talked about it in the open. They dropped their first NPSL match to Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor was able to dictate play, playing Route 1 football, going across and putting a lot of men behind the ball and scoring on a counter. Milwaukee wanted to come in here and kind of issue a statement of intent to the rest of the league. And despite the extra man advantage in midfield, they haven't been able to. City have gotten Joy, they've gotten Service, they've gotten Roddy Green involved up front. It's been all City in the first half. And because Milwaukee is pressing, they've taken some selfish lashes at the ball that have spurned chances for them to turn and have some possession. And when you
Archie
do that,
Sua had that golden opportunity to go over the crossbar, but other than that, this field, the pitch here today certainly has been tilted in favor of Le Rouge. As we're into stoppage time in the first half. Beza throws it in.
look at Bakey come in there and win the ball. Second man in. He knew his man was in a little bit of trouble, and he stepped in to keep possession.
As Green was making a run again, and there is the whistle. 45 minutes plus in the books. An impressive opening half for Detroit City FC as they take a 1-0 lead to the locker room. And John, that man right there, Cyrus Saydee, showing what he's all about. A world-class finish from Cyrus Saydee with that right boot, tucking it inside the left post.
That is a deserved smile at halftime, and a couple of high fives going off. He, first of all, gives a high five coming off the pitch to Troy Watson, who Cyrus has the goal, but Watson's been just as good for City. In fact, everybody in midfield and forward has been good for City. All six up front for Pearman's bunch. They're technically sound. They're doing exactly what Pearman wants them to do. They've been able to dominate in midfield, and Cyrus with the cool, smooth first half strike to give the home faithful what they want, a halftime lead.
Definitely smooth with a V, as a matter of fact. That one was so smooth. And that group of fans very happy here today through 45 minutes as Detroit City FC enjoying a 1-0 lead over Milwaukee as we open up play in the NPSL season. And John, you brought up an interesting point when we were talking in the open, and you said, look, the bottom line is, and something that plagued them last year, draws aren't good enough, especially when you're on your own pitch. You have to capitalize and get the 3 points. Through the first half anyway, so far so good for Detroit City.
Yeah, you have to play just like this. Just win, baby, go out and get the points. Now, what we will see is whether or not Pearman's bunch has learned from the second half last week against Dayton Dynamo. They played like this for the first 45 minutes. They were the better side. Pierman made a couple of changes. A couple of guys had some heavy legs as they go through preseason. And we got to about 55 minutes. And they got sloppy.
And right now it's time for our halftime report brought to you by Metro PCS. We'll send it down to our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, standing by with Coach Pierman. Lindsey.
Thanks, Neil. Coach, you had several chances there, and Saydee was finally able to convert. How do you keep this momentum going into the second?
Well, there's two things. A, we have to keep the ball a little bit more. I think Milwaukee's stepping a high line. In the first 15 minutes, we gotten behind half a dozen times, so I think we just keep getting fast and want to go. We got to calm down and keep it in the middle third. Second thing is we got to finish those chances off. We're dangerous, but then we don't score. 90-minute game, Milwaukee's a good team. 77 has a shot from 10 yards out to go up 1-0. Then at the end of the half, we got a little bit silly. So I think we just got to keep our defensive structure and be disciplined. And then obviously, like I said, we have to keep the ball in the middle third.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second. Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. Again, our halftime report brought to you by Metro PCS. And John, Coach is certainly preaching patience in terms of possession, wants to see them hold the ball a little bit more, a little bit longer, and strike when the opportunity is a little better.
You know what? And that means that he's saying that you were right with what you said in the open, is that this City team is deeper, and he wants more from them. That was a great first half, and it still wasn't enough for Caesar on the touchline. He wants more in the second 45 minutes.
We'll take our first halftime break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half. 45 minutes in the books. Detroit City with a 1-0 lead over the Milwaukee Torrent.
We're a 4-year-old company, but we've just moved to the city about a year ago, and we renovated an old stamping plant here in Detroit. And we're focused, and our mission is to create and design super efficient homes and urban infill buildings using the methodology of Passive House, and package that into a pre-built shell that's made here in Detroit. And we're allowing to do different creative designs, again, for single-family urban infills made in the shop in Detroit here. Everything we take is from design to rough frame to putting the layers on in the shop. So we actually create the wall panels here in Detroit in our shop. We load them up on that fancy trailer, and then we ship them out to the site like we did today. We discovered DCFC was about earlier or late last year, and we didn't have our building squared away yet last year, so really wanted to come on strong with you guys this year and just really be a supporter of the team. With your new move, that's fantastic, and be able to help any way we can, which we thought was kind of a creative use, is just to have a way to have some outside. So we're excited to be here with your new stadium this year. So today we're putting together the prefab shell. It's consisting of wall panels, roof panels that we made prefab in the shop. And so everything's pre-insulated. It comes with some siding and a weather-tight layer. So that's what we're working on today to get that wrapped up and weather-tight today. Some of the science we've baked into these panels, into the roof design and details, is extra thickness for extra insulation, which allows us to have a higher R value and something that we call thermal bridge-free detailing. So everything is going to be what we call super insulated and airtight, and we're able to do that on these walls and roof panels that we've pre-built in the shop. It's going to be good. It's been a couple weeks here preparing. We're really excited. All the guys are actually pretty excited. I saw them taking snapshots with their phones and stuff, but it'll feel good to see when it's all wrapped up, it's weather tight, people can go buy their merchandise.
page?
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's what you get. It started. Mine works.
Bob realized his network coverage was a no-show. That's why he switched to Metro PCS, because he figured out he gets a network that's more reliable than ever, covering 99% of people in the U.S. Switch now and get 2 lines for only $50 period, plus 2 free Samsung Galaxy phones. Metro PCS, wireless.
I want to blend my business education and athletic skills and open my own fitness center. At Lawrence Tech, I'm learning how to research, present, and to really think like an entrepreneur. And I love the small college feel here, where there's always something to do. We have men's and women's intercollegiate sports and dozens of student organizations. I can't wait to apply what I'm learning here in the real world. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
I love helping people get what they need. So when you order with ClickList from Kroger, I make sure you get everything you ask for, just the way you like it.
Whole organic milk? Done.
2 ripe bananas and 1 green.
And today's fresh bread? Got it.
With ClickList, I'm your personal shopper, so you can trust me to pick out exactly what you want, bagged and ready for when you arrive.
Try ClickList at a Kroger near you. Order online, pick up curbside at store, with same-day pickup now available. Visit Kroger.com.
We're a 4-year-old company, but we've just moved to the city about a year ago, and we renovated an old stamping plant here in Detroit. And we're focused, and our mission is to create and design super efficient homes and urban infill buildings using the methodology of Passive House, and package that into a pre-built shell that's made here in Detroit. And we're allowing to do different creative designs, again, for single-family urban infills, made in the shop in Detroit here. Everything we take is from design to rough frame to putting the layers on in the shop. So we actually create the wall panels here in Detroit in our shop. We load them up on that fancy trailer, and then we ship them out to the site like we did today. We discovered DCFC was about earlier, late last year, and we didn't have our building squared away yet last year. So really wanted to come on strong with you guys this year, and just really be, a supporter of the team. With your new move, that's fantastic, and be able to help any way we can, which we thought was kind of a creative use, is just to have a way to have some outside. So we're excited to be, here with your new stadium this year. So today we're putting together the prefab shell. It's consisting of wall panels, roof panels that we made prefab in the shop, and so everything's pre-insulated. It comes with some siding and a weather-tight layer. So that's what we're working on today to get that wrapped up and weather-tight today. Some of the science we baked into these panels, into the roof design and details, is extra thickness for extra insulation, which allows us to have a higher R value and something that we call thermal bridge-free detailing. So everything is going to be what we call super insulated and airtight, and we're able to do that on these walls and roof panels that we've pre-built in the shop. It's going to be good. It's been a couple weeks here preparing. We're really excited. All the guys are actually pretty excited. I saw them taking snapshots with their phones and stuff, but it'll feel good to see when it's all wrapped up, it's weather tight, people can go buy, their merchandise.
you guys are ready! Oh, you guys are ready!
Ticket, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's my ticket. It's starting. Mine works.
Bob realized his network coverage was a no-show. That's why he switched to Metro PCS, because he figured out he gets a network that's more reliable than ever, covering 99% of people in the U.S. Switch now and get 2 lines for only $50 period, plus 2 free Samsung Galaxy phones. Metro PCS, wireless.
I want to blend my business education and athletic skills and open my own fitness center. At Lawrence Tech, I'm learning how to research, present, and to really think like an entrepreneur. And I love the small college feel here, where there's always something to do. We have men's and women's intercollegiate sports and dozens of student organizations. I can't wait to apply what I'm learning here in the real world. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
I love helping people get what they need. So when you order with ClickList from Kroger, I make sure you get everything you ask for, just the way you like it.
Whole organic milk? Done.
2 ripe bananas and 1 green.
And today's fresh bread? Got it.
With ClickList, I'm your personal shopper, so you can trust me to pick out exactly what you want, bagged and ready for when you arrive.
Try ClickList at a Kroger near you. Order online, pick up curbside at store with same-day pickup now available. Visit Kroger.com/ClickList.
My passion is architecture. I don't want to sit around passively studying. I need to create. In our architecture studios at Lawrence Tech, we collaborate with students, faculty, and professionals from around the world. And from day one, we design using the same industry standard software that architecture firms use. I really feel like I'm designing my own future here. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
DTE Energy is committed to...
Just about ready to roll here for the second half. Detroit City FC with the 1-0 lead off the Cyrus Saydee goal. Enjoying that 1-goal spread against the Milwaukee Torrent. Neil Rule, John Krieger back here with you as we take a look at the recap of the first 45 minutes of play. And John, when you look at what happened during the course of the first half of this game, a lot of early pressure for Detroit City FC. We saw things get chippy and get physical at times. Really, we've seen good offense on both sides, but again, the physical nature of the game here today really showed itself.
Yeah, frustration and a high boot, and now it leads to Cyrus Saydee opening the scoring with a class move around his defender to create a shooting lane and get 1-0.
So Cyrus Saydee gives Detroit City FC the lead and drove everybody here at Keyworth Stadium crazy. And that is where we stand here as we get ready to roll for the second half of play. A big thank you to everybody for joining us. The halftime report brought to you by Metro PCS. Detroit City FC with a 7-4 edge in the shots department. But the number, John, that really jumps off at me at that page is the 5 corners for Detroit City FC to 0 for the Milwaukee Torrent. That shows you really the flow of that first 45 minutes of play. Milwaukee had their moments, but they were few.
Yeah, it shows you the pressure that City was able to put on the ball. It shows you the fact that they were able to keep things and control things and play the way Ben Pierman wanted to play. And you take a look at that, you also see 7 shots. They say only 1 on goal, and that's pretty fair. But the fact that City's 7 shots were all quality shots, and you didn't see the speculative efforts from 30, 40 yards just trying to make a keeper make a touch on the ball is an indication of where City have been. And then you go to the interview with Lindsey Pearson at halftime, and Ben Pierman saying, I want more. I want us not to be sloppy. I want us to finish more. If he's able to be that critical going into his team talk after a half like that for City, it says he's got a lot of aspirations for this team and this club in this season.
The next 15 minutes of action are brought to you by Metro PCS, the official wireless provider of Detroit City FC. You got to look at the big crowd on hand here at Keyworth Stadium. Also, a big thank you to everybody tuning in. You can send your tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. We have people tonight watching, not only from the United States, but the United Kingdom, Canada, Iceland, Spain, Brazil, Greece, Ireland, Mexico, and Denmark. Truly a worldwide audience here. And you can send your tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. We have a tweet here from Brian Chondo 20, says he's checking in from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Cyrus, the early leader for the man of the match. Hello to the folks in Italy, Morocco, Costa Rica, Poland, Estonia, Aruba. We're really big in the tropical climates. Key Largo has come strong here tonight, Aruba.
Yeah, but none of those climates, Neil, have the ambiance of Keyworth. And so I'd rather be where I am right now. I'm glad all of you have come in to Keyworth amid the rouge and gold smoke here to begin the second half as the Northern Guard let loose. And right off the bat here in the second half, City again being physical on the ball. What a nice ball through there. And a foul that lets City start. Offside flag was up.
It's Ronnie Green. That's about the only thing he's done wrong here today.
Trying to make things happen, trying to make things work.
Absolutely. 1-0 Detroit City with the lead. We're just underway in the second half.
Looks like Milwaukee's still in that 4-4-2, still trying to get some joy and move forward. It didn't work for them in the first half.
Now Goodman will settle that ball down. And Detroit City will clear it out towards midfield. Green the target again. Cyrus Saydee will make a run at this one. But Grable will play it back to the keeper, Rohde. Josh Rohde in goal. His counterpart, Nate Steinwasser. Steinwasser with the clean sheet in the first half. And now here comes a chance as Sua on the move to the right. His cross is played out by Stephen Carroll. Carroll's been very good defensively here tonight so far.
He had to be good defensively because Zach Shiwi let a ball get by him, and Carroll had to come over and kind of clean up the mess and shut down Sua.
So a corner kick upcoming for Milwaukee, their first corner of the evening. So they didn't get one through the first 45 minutes. It took them all of 2 minutes and 50 seconds to get one here in the second half. Wiedenbach sends it in. And it's popped up in the air out of harm's way temporarily for Detroit City. Ball is flicked on. Wiedenbach will settle it down. Dangerous position. Wiedenbach frustrated with that opportunity, but does get a corner out of it.
You know what, though? This is what Ben Pearman was talking about. He wanted to see his team not be sloppy after halftime. And already the back line for City has been loose a couple of times to allow Milwaukee to get some pressure here early in the second half.
Another corner served in towards the back post this time, headed out. Now that LaRouge defensive line, but again, here's Ruggles with it. So a very different start to this second half. And that ball's played in and it goes through the mouth and it's in the back of the net. It's a goal for Milwaukee. The ball leaked out to the left side and it was put away, and we are level at 1.
And that's the City back line just shutting off. They allowed Milwaukee to get down deep. They didn't close down the attacker the way they should have. And you look at here, City made the first move, and the defenders, the first shot went through and off the post, and then it was redirected in.
So Declan Rodriguez will get credit for the goal for the Torrent. Drew Ruggles started the play. Ruggles scored the goal last week against Ann Arbor. He started that play that sees Declan Rodriguez get the finish, and we are level at 1. A couple of Milwaukee fans in the house.
And you never like to be too critical of City players, but Jeff Adkins started that playoff for Milwaukee by making the first move. The Torrent player was able to hold him up, make Adkins make a move, and once the move was made, you had the passing area, the passing lane to whip it across the 6-yard box. And then you're able to send people toward the back post, and you see what happens, and we're back level.
That is the case. 1-1 the score. Here comes Milwaukee with it again, but again, a very different start to the second half than we saw in the first half. Detroit City on their heels a bit. And now the Torrent will control through midfield again. Here's Ruggles with it. Ruggles has been the point man for Milwaukee here tonight. Got a tweet from Tweenstein, says a fan watching from Tulsa. Great stream, hashtag Watch City. Well, thank you very much. Certainly do appreciate that. NGS Louisville, our good friends down in Louisville. NGS Louisville says, what, no one from Kokomo, Indiana? All these tropical places. And that brings us to our weekly trivia presented by Fago. This week's question, what is DCFC's head coach Ben Pierman's favorite Fago flavor? And we will answer that in the 68th minute. So what is DCFC's head coach Ben Pierman's favorite Fago flavor? That will tell me a lot about Ben Pierman, the man. In the 68th minute, we will have that answer for our weekly trivia presented by Fago.
You know, there's the subject of our player profile earlier. Steinwasser, the keeper for City, stepping out and claiming a ball in a crowded area when he knows his team is a bit on their heels right now, having given up an equalizer early in the second half. You need your keeper to step out and make a play, step out and grab after a ball, start things over, and that's what he did.
More pressure here from Milwaukee. Detroit City trying to settle it down in the midfield. Max Todd will play it back.
Nice long ball.
Sent ahead, looking for Adkins. Ball's headed out, quick throw in by Zach Shiwi to Saydee. The Capo serves it out wide to the right.
Nice ball
Green,
through.
the target. Green unable to catch up with it. We get a whistle and the stoppage.
Looks like the flag was up.
And Roddy Green.
No. Foul.
Yep. Pegged for the foul, I believe, and Green
goes into the book.
Not happy with that, and he, in fact, will be booked. Wow, a peculiar booking. Let's see if we can see anything.
No, that's not a booking. If that's what it was for, that's not a booking.
The tug right there. I can see the foul. Like, if you want to give him the foul, okay.
No, that's not a that's a. I'm not an official, so we're just going to leave that go. But that's a tough booking. When your other booking is a shove on the other end, that's tough.
So Green, in the 53rd minute, earns a yellow card.
The three in midfield for City really need to get back to where they were in the first half. They were able to control the game physically. They had better passes. Their touch was good. We've seen them be a little more timid here after halftime. And it's hurt them a little bit. The legs are a little heavier. The touches are a little bit heavier. The ball's bouncing a little more. They're not able to control. And that pass that you just saw from Cyrus Saydee going through, first half, that probably find its mark. But after halftime here, heavy touch. City need to refocus and be right back on the ball.
So Zach Shiwi will have to do the throw in again. The official directs Shiwi back about 10 more yards. And away we go one more time. Shiwi chips it up towards the left side. Green turning, working one-on-one, moves towards the goal line. Green taken down, the official says play on.
Nah, Green didn't get taken down, he went down.
Rightfully,
let's call that what that was.
I was gonna say rightfully so. The official says play on. We have another tweet here from Clausen Bibbins. It says, I'm watching DCFC from tropical Clausen, Michigan. Shout out to the godfather of Detroit soccer, Roger Faulkner. I second that, Clausen. No doubt about it. Had the opportunity last season to have Roger Faulkner join us up here in the booth. Great pick in his brain with all things soccer. Zach Shiwi will be pegged for that foul.
You know what? We got a tweet in from NGS Louisville asking if we were a team of two halves, City. And I would say this. So far, the answer to that question is yes. Because in the first 10 minutes of this second half, Detroit City Football Club is the one asking all the questions of the official, not getting in on the ball. And that was what Milwaukee was doing before halftime. Tough ball here.
Steinwasser up off the line to punch it away. And the Rouge will clear it out to midfield. But this pitch has been heavily tilted here the first 10 minutes of the second half. Milwaukee has certainly flipped the script. Let's take a look at our upcoming games this Sunday. Detroit City FC will be on the road all the way to Berkeley, Michigan, as they will take on the Michigan Stars at 4 p.m. And then Saturday, May 27th, one that I am fired up for against Glentorian FC. And don't forget about the match against Ann Arbor FC on the 21st. Now keep in mind that match against Glentorian, the Detroit Cougars 50th anniversary match presented by Strategic Staffing Solutions. Boy, the Detroit Cougars kit that they have lined up, straight fire.
Isn't it great?
It's fire.
I before I leave tonight, may be heading over to the Phoenix House merchandise tent and picking up one of those.
And copping yourself one of them?
Yes. You know what? I have to, and this is where perfect opportunity for us to give credit as the long ball goes forward and is cleared out of play. Perfect opportunity for us to give credit and a salute to the new equipment provider for Detroit City FC this year. They're in the Adidas kit with the hoops. Hoops are back for City shirts, and the two charity kits that we've seen this year, the Glentoran FC match, the homage to the Detroit Cougars teams when William Clay Ford bought a semi-professional team, Glentoran, to come over from Belfast and play, and the other charity kit, the charity match, for the charity partner match. It's a gray, it's a charity for women with the pink accents, both great. A nice job by the new equipment provider Adidas of getting City ready for play.
That ball served into the box. That's a dangerous opportunity, still alive. Saydee gives chase, but it will go over the line. But I'm all kinds of excited, certainly, for that Glentoran match coming up here towards the end of May. Make sure you're here for that one as you get a look at the fine lineup of Detroit City FC merchandise over at the merchandise stand. Lots of action going on there. They got you all covered. The t-shirts, the jackets, the jerseys. Of course, you can also go to Detroit City FC, and that ball is in the back of the net. It's a goal for LaRouge. They take the lead back.
Beautiful job on the set piece. Blocked from us a little bit here. We'll watch on the replay with you. But a nice job by City to beat their markers on the back post and take a 2-1 lead here in the 59th minute. Your goal scorer, Jeff Adkins, puts it home. And we take a look at this. A beautiful corner in, bends toward the back post, and I believe it went in off the corner.
It certainly did.
It did.
Jeff Adkins is pure with the corner. So Adkins will get the goal off the corner. Incredible play by Jeff Adkins. The corner extraordinaire strikes and puts LaRouge back up 2-1.
Frankly, that's a goal that Rhodey in the Torrent, between the Torrent sticks, would want to have back. And you sit there and you see City doing a nice job of creating pressure in the area. That's a nice job by City on the set piece of making it hard for the keeper to sight the ball, and it just went through his hands.
There's A.J. Patterson, who's coming into the game for the Torrent. Now that ball served up to the box, and Steinwasser loses control, and we're level at 2. So the Torrent strike back to tie the game. Nate Steinwasser, who you never see make a mistake like that, coughs it up. Milwaukee takes advantage, and you see the frustration from head coach Ben Pierman.
The toughest minute for any club is a minute after you score. Long ball into the area. Steinwasser just bundled the ball and waiting for it there for Milwaukee. A halftime sub, Mark Hutchinson comes in, and some smoke, some blue smoke from the Milwaukee support on this side with a little hello to the Northern Guard. But that's Steinwasser needing to collect that ball, just bundling it, and Hutchinson there to get on it and put it in the back of the net. And within 90 seconds, City's advantage is at 8.
The next 15 minutes of action here brought to you by Rip It, the official energy drink of Detroit City FC. And now LaRouge looking to get the lead for the third time here today, but on the counter, here comes Drew Ruggles up the left side. Ruggles with the chip. Steinwasser off the line will collect it.
City's scrambling a bit here right now. They're being muscled off the ball. Baki Goodman just got absolutely owned in a challenge. That was a fair challenge, but he just got muscled off the ball.
It looked more like a body check. And then that foul will go against Detroit City FC. There's Mark Hutchinson, the goal scorer for Milwaukee, leveling this match at 2. We're in the 62nd minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. We're at historic Keyworth Stadium. Huge crowd on hand as always. We got a good one going. That ball flicked on towards Steinwasser. He will make the grab. More tweets coming in with the hashtag #WatchCity. Zach Freeland says, I'm watching from Grand Rapids. My parents are watching from Utica. Can I get a shout out to my mom for Mother's Day? Sure.
Happy Mother's Day,
Happy Mother's Day, Mrs. Zach Freeland. Appreciate all your fine efforts.
You've obviously raised a nice boy.
Absolutely. That ball served out to the left side. So here comes Milwaukee. Watson back, trying to defend. Ball played to the middle. Edwardson will knock it down easily. And Detroit City FC will turn that attack away, but Ruggles with an overplay. And now Milwaukee will get the throw in.
Two problems here for City in the last 10 minutes. First of all, the back line playing deeper. They pressed higher in the first half because the midfield was able to get possession. They've been forced to drop back, and that's allowing some of Milwaukee's midfield players and forward line to get in and create space. The other thing that we're seeing here in the second half, as Milwaukee comes in and City clears their lines, we talked about the battle of systems and how City's 3 midfielders were beating Milwaukee's 4. That's switched here after halftime. The fact that you have 4 in midfield and you're able to reverse field, we've seen a lot of long cross-field searching balls from Milwaukee. That's taking advantage of the man advantage in midfield and forcing City to guess and to adjust to Milwaukee going forward. And it's created good space for the Torrent's forward line. It's something Ben Pierman's club have to address.
Here comes Tommy Catalano in. The former Oakland University Golden Grizzly, the Black Arrow winner. Saydee knocks it down, serves it out, looking for Catalano. Catalano last year, as we mentioned, winning that Black Arrow MVP award, had 4 goals in 8 games. Usually his instant offense. That ball served up the left side. Settling it down is Adkins. He's dangerous from there.
Smart by Adkins to hold it up. That's a smart play.
So Adkins scored from this very same spot about 10 minutes ago. Put Detroit City up 2-1 briefly. And we will run it again.
And Adkins doesn't have the ball over the quadrant. The assistant referee should make him replace it. Doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Adkins serves it towards the back post, headed away. Cyrus Saydee will track it down, and Troy Watson will settle it down. LaRouge looking to go on the offensive. Watson overly optimistic with that ball, as Rhodey will make the grab.
And there is, in a nutshell, the example of the switch we've seen after halftime. Remember, before halftime, it was Matic for the Milwaukee Torrent sending those long, searching, speculative balls, trying to create something here. That time, Watson, hold it up, son. Pass it off, set up possession. Instead, you're sending it in on goal from 40 yards. Very little good happens sending it in on goal like that from 40 yards. Get back to what you were doing in the first half. Play with your teammates. Play as a team. We haven't seen that after halftime.
Steinwasser with it. Wings it out to the right side. Troy Watson directing traffic. Long ball from Watson over the head of Catalano. And here comes some good work from Max Todd through the box. Taken down from behind. Referee says play on.
Now he went down by the turf monster. Northern Guard wants a penalty. Nowhere near, not a chance. He went down of his own volition. He wasn't helped down. That's a good job by our first referee to get in there. Little touch and a little embellishment. I give him a 9.5 on form and a 7.5 for artistic impression.
He put the right hand on the shoulder, though, John. I will say that.
Not enough. Not enough
He
for
did.
me. And even if you call a foul, I don't think it's enough to give a penalty.
So we play on as we move into the 67th minute. 2-2 the score. As we continue to get physical. Tommy Catalano gets up, grabbing at his mouth. Catalano's a guy, though, if it's going to get physical down there, I'll take Tommy Catalano on my team in a physical matchup any day of the week.
And twice on Sunday.
Yep. Here comes a Torrent with some possession. Moving it on the left side, Medic.
Hoof it out of there.
Him.
And they do.
Saydee on the right side. Saydee on the move. Weaving through traffic. Touches it out wide. Max Todd. Unable to track it down. And a goal kick coming for Milwaukee. More Twitter check-ins with a hashtag Watch City. Chris Oakroy says, I'm watching from Seattle. Let's get one more.
I agree, Chris. Let's. NGS Louisville on Twitter getting intense as he tweets in with a hashtag Watch City. By the way, our Twitter handles, if you want to ask us a question directly, he's at Neil Rule, Nealruhl. I'm at John Krieger, JOHNKREGER. We love hearing from you. Thanks for being with us on this opening Friday.
So here we go. Now Milwaukee on the attack. It's Medic again. Long shot finds the right side of the net, and Milwaukee takes a 3-2 lead.
Well, the blind squirrel found a nut on that kind of shot.
Medic had been trying his hand from distance all night long. That time he strikes gold. And Milwaukee takes a 3-2 lead, their first lead of the night. Medic went through 3 City defenders and buried it in the right side.
And I think he gets an assist on the goal from Dave Edwardson, not because Edwardson made contact with it, but because he got in front of Medic before he took the shot. And I think that created the half-second delay that Steinwasser needed to get over and save that ball. There will be a lot of people that will say that's on Steinwasser. I'm not quite sure. That's a pretty good, pretty well-placed strike. And he was, at the very last moment before the shot was taken, screened. Sure, you'd like your keeper to get over and make that save, but a ball that bounds that low and is well-placed next to the post, that's a tough one to keep out.
Here comes Zach Shiwi up the left side. City for the first time here tonight finding themselves down in this match. Ball played into the box.
We have some sleepy legs out there for City, especially up front. Some guys are trying to run. They exert a lot of energy in the first half, dealt with some physical play from Milwaukee as the Torrent got frustrated before halftime. And now as we get with 20 minutes to go on the clock and City have a free kick, the touches are getting heavier, the legs are getting heavier. It might be time for Caesar to look down his bench to add some speed and see if he can inject some life into what has been a slowly, I think, tiring City midfield.
Declan Rodriguez, a guilty party on the foul. So Adkins will stand over it, very capable of serving this one towards the box. You figure Tommy Catalano certainly will be a target. Let's see how it shakes out. The jostling for position begins right on the outskirt of the box, right at the 18 line. So here comes Adkins sizing it up.
If Adkins wants to, he could send this down the near side towards Shiwi. Instead, he serves it into the box.
And that ball is loose, goes all the way through. And what do we got?
Looks like we have a corner.
We'll have a corner coming.
And it's Todd looking over to take it.
So that gives Detroit City FC an opportunity here on the corner. Becky Goodman.
High line here from Milwaukee. They're not putting men on either post.
So
we've got
two
some
players.
substitutions waiting.
Milwaukee will bring in Aliou Kamara coming into the game for Milwaukee. 2 players over for City. So they will have their choice of corner takers. Ben Pierman looks on. They play the corner short. Turning and firing, not much on that one from Stephen Carroll. Watson knocks it down.
When you have your center back trying to get in there and put a shot in and create something, it's not something you necessarily want to have. And that short corner routine put an onus on him to try to make a play. I'm not quite sure that's what City necessarily needed to do there, especially with the joy they've had on corners tonight.
Now a substitution coming for Detroit City FC. Spencer Glass from Indiana University, a 4-star recruit out of high school, a top 150 high school player in America. Spent some time with the MLS U17 Generation Adidas Cup, so some talent personified stepping on the pitch in the form of Spencer Glass. He will replace Troy Watson. I believe we're getting some cramping out there on the field right now. Lots of energy expended here this evening as these two teams have gone at each other, literally at each other at times. 3-2 Milwaukee with the lead here in the 73rd minute. And that gives us an opportunity to get you the answer to our weekly trivia question presented by Faygo. What is Detroit City FC head coach Ben Pierman's favorite Faygo flavor? I'm anticipating Red Pop. Ben, no. He does say grape is a close second. That I'll agree on. Grape is a close second.
See, I can't stand grape. Red Pop is my number 2, actually.
Yeah, I'm not a big Red Pop guy, but Ben Pierman is. So that's the answer to our weekly trivia presented by Faygo. Again, you know where I stand. Team Rock and Rye all day long. But can we change that graphic real quick? What is Neil Rule's favorite flavor? Oh, that's easy. Rock and Rye. So here we go. Adkins to serve.
I'd like to see a ball right to the top of the area here. Pushing and shoving in.
Adkins goes deep. It's headed on and punched out. Edwardson turns. His cross headed over top of the bar.
In on goal and a chance, and spurned for City.
So a dangerous opportunity for LaRouge goes by the boards as we will take another look
Decent
at the replay.
ball. Decent ball toward the back post. Punched out. Nice job to keep it back in play. And the header then was set up and went over the bar. Searching ball. I'm not always a fan of 1v1 against the keeper on a long ball like that, but when you're able to put the service that close to your man, I'll take it. NGS Louisville, by the way, watching with the hashtag WatchCity on the Milwaukee go-ahead goal. He said that's on the City back line for not closing Matic down. And he's not wrong to a point, but you also don't expect that kind of a lash to be that well placed.
I got a feeling you can look to that man right there, Tommy Catalano. He's not done yet. Still 15 minutes and some change left in regulation. Catalano, the Black Arrow MVP award winner, tremendous college player during his days at Oakland University. Adkins serves it just out of the reach, and we will go the other way. And now we will take a look at tonight's attendance, brought to you by Rip It Energy. 5,041 fans here at Keyworth Stadium tonight in downtown Hamtramck. 5,041 tonight's attendance, brought to you by Rip It Energy, the official energy drink of Detroit City FC.
You know, just a note on City's attendance, there was a graphic that was released by our friends at the Northern Guard earlier in the week that came out of one of the soccer publications here that talked about the fact that City drew close to 5,000 last week, over 5,000 tonight, eclipsing the average attendance league-wide for both the United Soccer League and the North American Soccer League. I know
if you're into facts.
Well, I don't do alternative facts and I don't do fake news.
Yeah, if you're into facts, that's factual. What was brought up gives me an opportunity. The next 15 minutes are presented by Strategic Staffing Solutions, sponsor of the S3 Beer Garden here at Keyworth Stadium, and the International Series, which will see DCFC host Glentoran FC from Belfast on May 27th. Continue, John.
You know, you take a look at it, we've heard a lot about potential soccer offerings in this city. We won't spend a lot of time on them here, but I'll say this. Grassroots sports for me are electric. What City does here at Keyworth is electric. And the fact that a team that's made up of college kids and guys trying to restart their careers can draw 5,000 fans on any given night and have the rabid support that we do and the fan base that this club does, Detroit has a soccer team.
Absolutely, and you look at the fact that people from over 20 countries are tuning in here to the Watch City broadcast. Only adds fuel to that fire. Long throw in for Catalano, settles it down, touches it to Saydee. Saydee on the move, into the box, Cyrus Saydee, and the shot is stopped by Rhodey.
And Cyrus Saydee did that with a man with a hand in his back, and still managed to keep control. Look at that, he's being held in the box by number 11, Ignacio Baza. He comes in, controls the ball, and is able to get a boot on it and score. And you have a situation where Saydee didn't quit on that. Another footballer might have gone down. And with a footballer being held, you talk about getting diving out of the game and getting play acting out of the game. Referees need to see when a defender has a handful of shirt and a guy is still trying to make a play. And Cyrus Saydee made Rhodey make a save in the Milwaukee goal.
Into the 78th minute, Detroit City trailing 3-2. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Welcome to our audience watching on FoxSportsDetroit.com. And that foul will be called against A.J. Patterson, much to the delight of the crowd here at Keyworth Stadium, not to the delight of Andreas Davi,
who is up in the face of the fourth official and was told to move back to his technical area by our referee tonight.
Derek Odom into the game for DCFC as well. Now we'll see an opportunity for LaRouge. The throw in by Adkins goes short. Glass crosses into the box. Ruggles will clear. And I think you will see a steady diet of that from Milwaukee over the next 12 plus minutes. A lot of turn and burn and trying to get out of town with his 3-2 win.
Now it's about clearing your line, putting men behind the ball, and making City play those speculative balls in. Nice step around by Saydee to try to open up Tommy Catalano on the ball. It doesn't come for anything though, as Rhodey, who has gone the less traditional route of not actually wearing a jersey tonight. He's in a kind of a base layer without a number out there for Milwaukee.
He's got the physique on display, no question about it, as Carroll plays that ball away.
And there's the difference between the first half and the second half. Adkins took that ball, he was immediately looking backward to try to restart things and take the kind of reset pass. First half, Adkins would have turned on the ball and sent it forward out of midfield and tried to get some joy. That's the difference in what Milwaukee's been able to do in the midfield in the second half and the way they've been able to take advantage and muscle City off the ball. You can see that in something as simple as a simple back pass to try to restart things in your own area.
So the Torrent now with the free kick as the Northern Guard uses some vernacular to announce their displeasure. I'll leave it at that. Left-footed service into the box is headed on, and Steinwasser makes the grab.
10 minutes to go for an equalizer. We talked about City needing to get a win on home ground to begin their NPSL season. Now they take 1 point. Otherwise, you're in the same boat as Milwaukee. Looks like we've got a substitution for City.
Ben Pierman directing traffic.
Owen Hoskins getting ready to come on.
Hoskins to come in. Was a third-team Division II All-American at St. Edwards. And I enjoy Hoskins because he enjoys Spanish bullfights.
You were waiting for him to come on just to be able to say that, weren't you?
I couldn't wait. You got to give mad respect to anyone that enjoys Spanish bullfights.
I would be nowhere near a bull, or the business end of a bull, or anywhere around a bull. Good on you, son.
The officials right now having some chats with the Detroit City FC coaching staff. And that's Coach Ben Pierman, the assistant coaches Jordan Andrews, Klaus de Boer, Brett Mullen, and Josh Rogers, holder of one of the best beards in all of soccer. And Ben Pierman chatting with the officials, and now the officials moving on, and nobody knows what's going on. Ben Pierman having words, the officials having words.
Well,
the only thing we're not doing is playing soccer right now.
The City bench, I have a feeling, was asking questions about some of the physical play from the Torrent. Problem is they were going out of their technical area to do it, and the officials came over and said, we've had about enough, get back to your technical area. City giving them a piece of their mind. Certainly some frustration for Ben Pierman. You go into the locker room up 1-0, you're down 3-2.
There's Spencer Glass trying to track it down. He does and sends it over top of the cage. So we mentioned Spencer Glass and the time he spent with the MLS U17 Generation Adidas Cup. Represented the Chicago Fire there. Was a redshirt in Indiana, a 4-star recruit. And John, this is a big-time talent in Spencer Glass.
And a nice job for City to pick him up as well, to come in. Now granted, he only came in and was able to be with the team last night. There's still a period of adjustment, but it speaks to what City stands for, that they're able to get Bakey Goodmans, and they're able to get Spencer Glasses, and they're able to get players like Zach Bach that know they can learn from Ben Pierman, grow with Ben Pierman, and get used to playing and winning in an environment like Keyworth that helps them down the professional ladder or up the professional ladder as they go. It speaks a lot to what this club is going into, that this type of talent wants to be a part of what's going on here in Hamtramck.
And Spencer Glass, somebody who competes directly with Ben Pierman during the college soccer season in the Big Ten. Being at Indiana, of course, Ben Pierman, the assistant coach at Michigan State, really says a lot about the level of respect those two have for each other.
And remember, Indiana, a long history of NCAA soccer excellence.
No question.
Alexi Lawless, a Indiana University graduate, regularly through the 90s and into the 2000s. Part of the College Cup and deep into the NCAA tournament. That program, one of the best of the Big Ten, and you see some of their talent on display for LaRouche.
We move into the 85th minute, 3-2 the score. The Milwaukee Torrent, who have trailed on 2 separate occasions here tonight, have stormed back with 3 second-half goals and have taken a 3-2 lead. My name is Neil Rule. My broadcast partner here today, John Krieger. Happy to have you with us. You're watching on FoxSportsDetroit.com, or as well DetroitCityFC.com as well. We've been taking your tweets with the hashtag WatchCity.
Bit of an adjustment for City, a little respect for what Milwaukee has done. They started this match with 3 up top. They've dropped back into more of a 4-4-2 because they need to counteract the advantage that Milwaukee's been able to gain here after halftime. The problem is that by dropping that man back, as Milwaukee plays it in, you don't have the opportunity to get forward as quickly.
Now the Torrent with a right-footed shot from Wiedenbach. Boy, Wiedenbach could have closed the door on the evening.
City with 5 minutes to go, playing like a team up 3-2 instead of a team down 3-2. A lot of play in their own end, searching for that right pass, searching for that right ball. And because of the fact that Milwaukee is able to then jam up midfield and deny those passing lanes, you don't see the ball coming forward, and you see Milwaukee on a counter.
Wiedebach hit the turf. He wants the call, but he's not going to get it. But instead, Milwaukee will have to settle for the throw-in. Now Jeff Adkins will have a discussion with Wiedebach. But how about this Milwaukee Torrent team? Down by a goal on 2 separate occasions. They fell to Ann Arbor in their season opener 3-1. But they have not been intimidated here tonight. They have come in here and played very well, trusted their system. That throw-in goes all the way towards the frame. Cyrus Saydee will touch it out. 87th minute. Detroit City needs one. And John, you talked about what Milwaukee was looking to do. Their older roster. And it just comes back to that. They have trusted what they are about here tonight, despite the fact that they trailed on 2 occasions. They never abandoned the game plan. And through 86 minutes almost, they have a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, they stuck with what they knew. And what ended up happening is that the physical play you saw them trying to put on City in the first half did its job after halftime. It set things up because the legs for City got a little heavier. The passes got a little shorter. Ben Pierman was forced to make an adjustment to counteract that, and all of a sudden the pitch tilted in the other direction. And we've got some extracurriculars on the far side in front of the Northern Guard. That's why soccer's a 90-minute game. You set up things in the first 45 for when it counts in the second 45. City incredibly good in the first 45. Got muscled off the ball after halftime. The ball movement was a lot more speculative. They haven't controlled possession. They haven't been able to control the ball on their boot, turn it. A lot of bouncing balls, a lot of searching balls. Not the technically solid effort we saw in the first half.
Wiedebach fires that one over top of the frame. Andrew Wiedebach has been a man on a mission the last couple minutes for Milwaukee. We're into the 89th minute. Detroit City FC, we will see them move forward a good deal here.
I would be guessing there's at least 4 minutes of stoppage time, if not more.
We've had a lot of altercations here in the second half, no doubt about it.
Nice job there by Catalano to chest that ball down and control it. But then he passes it off to a man that had already started his run, and nothing happened.
Adkins, Saydee, Catalano with it. Catalano will earn the throw-in. Catalano double teamed right away.
And then a heavy touch. Milwaukee comes in, closes things down, forces the heavy touch, and then they're able to clear their lines.
Carroll serves it into the box. Headed on, now it's cleared out one more time.
And you see Carroll putting that ball into the box. And on its face, that's okay, except as the ball comes into the area and the lines are cleared again by Milwaukee, they're just content to play it out. Carroll put that ball into a 1v3 situation where you're expecting your man to be able to control that ball, beat 3 defenders, and find somebody. Roddy Green was able to do that in the first half because the City midfield were dominating things and the attack was able to come forward. Now, Milwaukee content just to put defenders behind the ball. They're playing with the lead, and you're forced to send that service in 1v3. That's not a situation you're going to win most times, especially when defenders are able to play off the ball and then close in on you.
So 90 minutes in the books. Now we are in stoppage time. Substitution coming for Milwaukee. Chinu Shong will come into the game, replacing Andrew Wiedebach. So Wiedebach played a very strong last 10 minutes of this contest, as Milwaukee will look to batten down the hatches and try to get through stoppage time with this 3-2 lead.
And that's a like-for-like substitution, which means it was about one thing, wasting time.
Adkins the target. That pass falls short. I've just been told there will be 6 minutes of stoppage time. So Detroit City FC with a bit of a reprieve. Although, we're getting down to it. Long ball served into the box, headed away.
Through the smoke. Welcome to the NPSL, Mr. Rhodey. Try to find the orb through the rouge smoke there.
That ball headed on, now it's cleared out. Edwardson will knock it down. Stephen Carroll sends it over to Spencer Glass. Glass long ball. Up towards the 18, headed over. Catalano, and the offside flag is up.
Nice spot on the offside flag, partner. All the way on the other side.
Well, I didn't see it. I just heard the whistle and assumed.
And assumed.
I went all in.
And you were right.
Yep. There's no way you can see that offside flag all the way over there through the red smoke.
Neil Rule. Guessing games when they pay off.
No, yeah. I go all the way in. All the way in.
You know what? And NGS Louisville makes a good point on Twitter. Some cynical play before the half. But after 40 minutes, a couple of those challenges, a couple of rough challenges by Milwaukee, forced City to rethink things, and I think we saw some dividends after halftime. We talked about it, and it all started in midfield, where Milwaukee was able to impose their will.
So we get a stoppage, and we'll do it again. Jeff Adkins will settle it down. The official saying, hey, move back about 15 yards.
So we're about 2 minutes into our 6 minutes of extra time. City need to bomb forward now. Doesn't matter now if you lose 3-2 or 4-2. All hands to the pumps to get the equalizer.
So Saydee sends it out wide to the left. Glass to the middle. Played out again. Shong was able to turn with it temporarily. Now here's Spencer Glass with it. That ball will be kicked out of the stadium.
Sending souvenirs into Hamtramck. And you look at it now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 behind the ball for Milwaukee. Now 9 behind the ball for Milwaukee.
I believe the terminology is Milwaukee has parked the bus.
Yes, they've parked a double-decker bus right now.
And I assume the ball's over along the right sideline.
Yeah, we've lost that thanks to the smoke coming across from the best supporters in sports.
So here the ball is swung out to the left side. Spencer Glass serves it towards a D.
Another one of those speculative balls trying to find one man on the back post against 3 Torrent defenders. Yeah, that is, again, not the odds you want.
She returns. LaRouge looking to make a final push to try to level this match.
And Todd got muscled off the ball. That's a ball he would have won in the first half.
Shiwi settles it down. Shiwi played in 8 matches last year, had a goal for Detroit City FC. Cyrus Saydee has a goal here tonight. He's got it, I believe, on the right side. Saydee has it touched away. Odom with it, I guess. Your guess is as good as mine, folks.
Good ball into the area there, but hoofed clear by Milwaukee. Now they come on the corner, and a nice job by the official to not give the free kick. Torrent player going down very easy there. City the other way on the counter.
Into the box, ball served across and played up into the air. Still inside the 18, however, and now it is cleared out to midfield, where Stephen Carroll will settle it down.
I believe that was Glass in there for City, and he needed to go to the ball. He was waiting for the ball to come to him. It allowed the defender to step in front.
Catalano serves it across, knocked down, that shot is blocked. Glass from the left side, service towards the keeper, ball is loose, and it's in the back of the net! Detroit City FC has leveled this match at 3.
Through the smoke, they got the equalizer. That's exactly what happened to Steinwasser in the second half on the second Torrent goal. Rhodey was down, had a paw on it, couldn't control it, and City there to pounce. And Milwaukee was back, had a defender on the post, playing the City player on side, and they were able to find an open spot and put it through. He bundles the ball, it's out. It's Todd who puts it home. Went up off of Rhodey and out, and it spilled down, and Todd right there in front, onside, and we're level at 3 in the 95th minute of stoppage time.
So with just moments to spare, City has tied this match at 3. Max Todd, who had 4 caps for the Scottish U17 national team. And that is the whistle. It's a final. Detroit City FC, without a moment to spare, levels this match at 3, and that will be your final score. Detroit City FC 3, the Milwaukee Torrent 3.
Well,
incredible finish.
The last chance saloon pays off for Detroit City FC. Neil, for the last 20 minutes of the second half, City were muscled off the ball, they were out physical, they were outplayed. And in the end, they bombed forward, they took chances, they did what we saw them do before halftime. And they got in and made Milwaukee make decisions. They kept asking questions. They didn't allow Milwaukee to dictate the flow. And finally, you get in close in the middle of a sea of smoke. You have a man in front who didn't stop his run, who didn't give up on the play when he saw the keeper close to the ball. And Max Todd's never say die attitude, playing to the whistle, came in and gave City a much needed point. You don't want to draw at home. You don't want to draw at home to begin your season. They wanted to get the win. But when you're playing from behind, when you've seen the script flipped on you, and when you're down, and you can come back, I guarantee you, City will go out of this happy that they were able to rescue a point at the end, despite the fact that they went from behind. I'm sure Ben Pearman, when he talks to Lindsey Pearson, won't be a happy manager down on the field. But I'll tell you this, in that dressing room, the City players will know they've come back and rescued a point. Now you go up to Michigan Stars. I have a feeling the Rouge Rovers will be in full effect. Could be like another home game for City up there in Berkeley. If you can get 4 points on the weekend, you'll take it every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
There's the man of the hour for Detroit City FC, Max Todd, who was an All-Horizon League first-teamer as a sophomore at UIC, was 13th in the country in the NCAA in assist, but it's his goal prowess here tonight that levels this match at 3 and whipped all of those guys up into a frenzy in the Northern Guard. And as you said, John, Detroit City FC escapes with a point, and they will be happy to do so here tonight. Just moments before the whistle would have blown, Detroit City FC finds some magic to end this match in a 3-3 draw.
You know what? You ask now, what do you take from a match like this? Well, you take a couple of things. First of all, you take that you have a team full of kids with heart. They never gave up. They went down, and those kids in the final 5 minutes for Ben Pearman's club didn't stop fighting. They waited too long to be aggressive again, or they could have had a shot to get a win here tonight. But they never stopped, and that's going to be something that I think will be a hallmark of this team for this entire season. But the other thing you have to take is that this was 2 distinctly different City clubs. The club for the first 46 minutes, the club from minute 47 to about minute 82, and the club, or about minute 88, and the club that went back into stoppage time. You cannot switch off at any point, especially in environments like this and in a league that is growing competitively in the NPSL. You have to keep the foot on the accelerator. I question why Ben Pearman was so, I want to say, critical going into halftime talking with Lindsey Pearson. But you saw the reason why, because he was worried about what happened last week against Dayton. And you have a situation where they did switch off, and you can't do that. You got to play the whole 90.
And now we will send it down to our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, standing by with the head coach, Ben Pearman, after this 3-3 draw. Lindsey, take it away.
Thanks, Neil. Coach, you got a goal there in the dying minutes of stoppage time. What did you see from your guys in the second half?
I mean, we gave up 3 goals in the second half. That was poor. The spirit, the fight, this is what this club's all about. But we got to be more than that. I'm frustrated. We did this last season. We've gone over it for 2 straight weeks. made a couple mistakes in key areas. We didn't get a couple breaks or calls to go our way, but Milwaukee's a tough team, and we just handed them a point. Luckily, we scored at the end because it was going to be disaster, but that's 2 points dropped in my opinion. I mean, not opinion, that's a fact. We outplayed them, but outplaying them does nothing if you can't defend. So 5 years in, 6 years with the club, 5 years in, we can't defend. So we got to regroup. I said every time, but we're not going to be around here much longer if we don't start defending.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Good luck on the road on Sunday. And guys, I'm joined by Max Todd, man of the match. Max, walk us through that goal there at the end.
Oh, just right place, right time. The ball came in, and I just was there as soon as the keeper couldn't get their hands on it. I was just there to put it in.
And what's the experience like scoring in front of these supporters here at Keyworth?
Oh, it's brilliant. I don't think I'll ever experience this anywhere else. The fans are great. You know, they never stop singing for the team, and then credit to them, because if it wasn't for them, maybe we wouldn't have had the energy and the boost to get the equalizer. Yeah,
and things didn't really go your way there in the second half. 3 goals by Milwaukee after you're up 1-0. What'd you see from your guys out there?
Oh, like, we gave it everything, you know. The first game, a lot of us haven't really played much with each other, and I think maybe just a bit of confusion at the back, and maybe midfield not pressing enough. You know, it's a team effort. Maybe I'm sure Ben will look at that and make sure that it doesn't happen again.
And what are some positives to take into Sunday's game at Michigan Stars? Oh,
just the spirit, you know, what we had here to get the late equalizer. We were all over them for the last, as soon as it went extra time. We never stopped, and hopefully that gives us the spirit to go on and get a win on Sunday.
Thanks, Max.
Thanks a lot.
Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Certainly do appreciate it. And on Twitter right now with the hashtag WatchCity, I got a tweet from Eric Noyes that said it's a tie that feels like a win. And John, look, I know what Ben Pierman said, and obviously he's the coach, and that's the way he's going to feel. That's the way you expect your coach to feel after you surrender 3 goals in the second half of a match. But the bottom line is, the moral of the story, this is a tie, yeah, but it feels like a win.
It's a point, but it's always going to feel like a win when you come from behind. Ties feel like losses when you surrender the lead. If City had surrendered the late equalizer, it would be a lot different atmosphere in the dressing room. But they're going to get the point. They go off to Michigan on Sunday, and let's get 4 for the weekend. Good start to the season. Next time out here in the league, let's get a win.
All right, let's take a look at the recap of tonight's match. Certainly a lot of action in the first half. Detroit City got the party started. It was a very physical, very chippy first half at times, as we see back and forth. Players hitting the turf and the bodies going all over the place, but Cyrus Saydee got the party started for DCFC. That magical right foot put Detroit City up 1-0. It would stay that way into the halftime locker room, but in the second half, the Milwaukee Torrent went to work. They would score 3 goals, as a matter of fact, in the second half. Jeff Adkins, though, with the match tied at 1, would score on a corner, but that 2-1 lead was very short-lived, as Milwaukee would score to level the match at 2. And then for the first time during the match in the second half, Medic would score for Milwaukee to take a 3-2 lead all the way into the 95th minute, when Max Todd would save the day and save a point for Detroit City FC and level the match at 3. That would be the final score. So for our entire crew here today, as we take a look at the updated league standings, Milwaukee now with those 3 points, as they also join Ann Arbor at the top of the table with the 3 points. Detroit City FC right now with the 1 point from the draw, as the rest of the teams will find their way into action tomorrow and into Sunday as well, as we will take a look around the league for this weekend's matchups. And our weekend recap is brought to you by airforce.com. On Sunday, AFC Ann Arbor and Kalamazoo FC will mix it up. Milwaukee will travel to Lansing to take on the United. And of course, Detroit City FC will hit the road as they go to Berkeley, and they will square off against the Michigan Stars. The upcoming matches for Detroit City FC: we talked about the match on Sunday against the Michigan Stars, AFC Ann Arbor as well. Glentoran, the international game coming up on May 27th. That one will be a lot of fun. And Grand Rapids FC and the Detroit City Football Club will also be in NPSL action. Those are the upcoming matches here for Le Rouge. And let's recap the match here tonight with our stats brought to you by Metro PCS. 14 shots for Detroit City, 10 for Milwaukee. 8 corners for Detroit City, just 2 for Milwaukee. But when you add it all up, the only statistic that matters, 3-3 the score. The draw here tonight on the opening night of the NPSL season for Detroit City FC. So that will do it for tonight's broadcast for our entire crew. And also for my broadcast partner here tonight, John Krieger, this is Neil Rule reminding you one final time, it was a goal fest here tonight, especially in the second half. But we finished things up tied at 3 between Detroit City FC and the Milwaukee Torrent. Detroit City again in action on Sunday against the Michigan Stars. That will do it for tonight's broadcast. My name is Neil Rule, reminding you one final time, a 3-3 draw here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Match coverage brought to you by Chevy and the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Oh, see you later.